And that's how I got thrown out of general studies.
That's interesting.
That was something.
And that's how I got thrown out of religious studies, basically. Okay, cool. All right. What's going on, guys? It's Red K. It's the basement. Thank you guys for being here. We're here. Got a great show for you. Not like last week, but I was talking about. Actually, got a. Are we?
You're right here.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So we're right here.
Hi.
I thought we were opening up from the full shot, but obviously not.
We did already.
We did. Now you're talking.
Anyways, we got a good show for you when I'm looking at the right camera, and just to introduce everybody. I'm Red K.
MF Dungeoneer.
Check it out. I'm Dre. Lionheart X.
I'm the lowliest wolf by choice.
All right, so back at it another week. So what you guys been playing this week?
I'm still playing Persona 5.
Persona 5?
She has a problem.
This is week 3.
Yeah, this is the third or fourth run through.
And what playthrough are you on?
4.
You're almost at 5.
Problem. You?
Day's gone.
Really?
Days
Is it,
gone.
how you feeling about it?
That's good.
Is it a bad
I like
game?
it. No, it's
not
not
bad.
as no, it's not as bad as everyone's saying.
Okay,
but
cool.
I do believe, according to Alan and his motions, that it's Culture Corner time. Alan, what time is it?
He was doing the thing.
He did the thing.
So we're here on Culture Corner by doing
Playing games
what
again.
have you been playing?
No,
Loneliest
don't
Wolf?
worry about it. This doesn't matter. We got to get on the culture corner.
All right, then.
He's the boss.
Culture
We got some good news. Rick and Morty are back. Check it
Wubba
out.
lubba dub
Right on the
dub.
Culture Corner.
Who did it?
We've got a big
did it?
announcement to make.
dare
Morty, do
you.
you want to make the announcement or?
No. I don't want to make the announcement.
All right, okay, I'll do it. Everybody, Rick and Morty is back. Brand new season 4 in November 2019. This year, we're gonna do it this year, 2019.
Man, I can't believe we're back. We're gonna be back. I mean, in 2019 of November.
That's right, we're gonna be back.
So yeah, season 4, Rick and Morty back. I believe we're all pretty much excited for this.
I am. I love
Yeah.
it.
Oh yeah.
Didn't like the season 1 and 2 have like 3 years or 2 years in between or something like
Yeah,
that?
they
It's
like
had a
spaced
while.
them really weird.
Yeah.
That's what was like. Oh, Rick and Morty's coming back
Yeah,
out. That's
also
a,
soon, yeah.
That's a little bit too soon.
And it's gonna be like more Rick and Morty too, because I heard it's gonna be like more episodes than both
Yeah.
seasons
That's
put together.
awesome.
Not put together, but
It's like they finally have a budget.
What?
So a lot of drunken mayhem going on with that. So Red Dead Redemption Online is out of beta mode.
Well, to answer your question of what games I've been playing, that's one of them.
That was a segment.
Red Dead Redemption Online.
I
so-
have been, yes.
So there was an
Nice.
official trailer. We're gonna get into it right now. They've got some stuff in junk. Adam, run it.
Stuff and junk.
Stuff in
Peggy
junk
18.
and more things. In Well,
Order don't exist no more in this chaos of a world.
Thought long and hard about ethics.
We will finish this thing one way or another.
About responsibility.
My mistress asked me to remind you of why you have your freedom.
About rule of law.
They'll be back until every decent person in this town is dead.
Kind of had the
I
same
decided
problem that
I
GTA
just
5
do
had in the
this.
beginning. There was nothing to do in it.
It has,
But
it has a
give it
story.
time.
It had a little story mode. They chopped it off. because
Yeah.
it's still in there.
Here's where I stab you all in the back.
No, I was thinking
Imagine they would kill us there, but you never know.
looks like you can play spade, poker.
Yeah, poker. There's a bunch of little like things you could do.
Play
There's
select
small
online
side
content
missions.
30
There's an
days early.
overarching story
the players.
for this one that's separate from the
I
Red
heard,
Dead. No more Red Dead.
I heard they're doing something where like if you're being too much of a butt in the game, you're just going around shooting people. Like they put a bounty on
Yeah,
your
you
head.
can put bounties
Yeah.
on people.
And like then it's like, you want to be a little
Yeah.
turd? Then run around and let's have fun.
You also have like
A little
reputation and
turd.
stuff as well, so it affects your reputation. You can like choose whether it's like, this person just
Yeah.
was being a jerk, or you can just be like, whatever, it's not a big deal. You can have it affect their standing in the game, so they have like a reputation whether they're evil or
That's kind of cool. They
so,
kind of expanded on Star Wars Galaxies.
Yeah.
You could do that.
yeah.
You
What is a big deal is the fact that in Japan, the Switch was only been out a year and a half, something like that. They've outsold the lifespan
Yep.
of PS4s that have been sold in Japan It's kind of a crazy number.
It's a serious number, but it's such a different like gaming culture there.
Yeah,
like, they don't, like we drive everywhere.
Yeah.
And they ride trains, so they have more time to play.
Yeah.
I feel like that should have been a game. We Drive.
We
Drive
drive
would have been dope.
They train.
It's just
We
navigation.
drive, they train.
Well, the like you're saying, the culture is different over there, so they have more of a handheld market, and that's the biggest thing. In America, we don't have that big of a handheld market.
We're always going.
It's basically the Nintendo handheld.
Yeah. Well, me and Chris used to work for a game company, and
Stop.
For a game. I'm sorry, it was about games. And
Let's just get into that right now, as a matter of fact. So GameStop has changed their policy, and there's going to be you guys used to work for a game company.
Stop.
So maybe you might want to take it. So what are they doing over there?
It's called the you love it guarantee.
Yeah, you're
essentially
guaranteed
to love it. It started. They officially rolled it out actually with the release of Days Gone, ironically enough. But essentially, what it's going to allow you to do is, if you buy a game and you're going home, you're playing it. Originally, if you didn't like it, you could have got the game 5 minutes, just realized you hated it, brought it back, couldn't return
That's
it.
some hate.
Yeah, now you have 2 days, 48 hours. You can get the store credit back to the full $60 to get something else.
That's not bad.
Yeah, instead of being able to trade it in where you normally got like $30 or something, now you at least get the full credit of $60.
Wow.
And you can essentially put it to something else.
It's a little late, though,
that's
huh?
better.
It's a little late to the party, but it's good.
Yeah, GameStop. Selling games back to GameStop was kind of like selling back college books.
Here's like a tenth of the value that
They're
you
like,
got.
hey, would you buy this book for $800? Two.
Yeah. Well, they also have another thing that's coming up. They're restructuring their Power Up Rewards program. That they're supposedly going to be releasing it the kind of like a test at 75 test stores June, where instead of doing the 10% discount on used games and accessories, they're removing that. You still get the 10% bump up on trade, but instead of the 10% discount on the games, you get a $5 coupon monthly. $5 coupon, you can spend it on anything.
Okay.
So
That's not terrible.
I mean, they're trying.
It
But
is if
it
you
doesn't
buy a
really-
lot
They're
of
trying.
games.
Oh, but
it does not
so
roll
you
over.
have to use it.
Yeah, it
like-
does not roll
it's
over.
like use
You
this.
have to use it that month, or else, it's gone.
It's not terrible, but it's like...
I think it's worse.
It's
worse
pretty
than
bad.
10% because 10% discount, you're going to save
Well,
more money in
that's
the long
true,
run.
yeah. 'cause
Yeah.
then
It's
if
$5.
you-
It's
if
That
I buy-
means
Yeah, if
that
I
means
was
if you
gonna buy
spent
a-
$60 and saved $6 in 1
It's
month,
still-
you already saved more
Yeah,
than what you would have got for that $5 coupon.
We got some things coming back around. For some reason, Nintendo is reprinting games, and Earthworm Jim 1 and 2
Earthworm Jim.
are being reprinted for the Super NES.
Love
The
Earthworm
cartoon,
Jim.
I mean,
really?
I do love me some
Call,
Earthworm
you
Jim.
know?
I mean, I played it on
great.
the Genesis.
No, we can't. Genesis is what Nintendo
You said we don't. You just like started vibrating and just
We can't. I did it.
we can't.
So I don't
This is what
I don't
Nintendo
really
is.
know who this is for. I mean, they're actually putting the Super NES. You can see
Collectors.
these
I
are
think it's collectors.
this is actually the commercial for Earthworm Jim when the lady was eating the worms. I remember this when I was a kid.
I think they're doing it for collectors.
Is it going to
Yeah.
come out
I
on
think
the
it's just
Switch
a
though?
collector thing.
Can you play it on the Switch?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I would hope so.
It would be
know.
silly if they give you the reprints, but you can't play it on the Switch.
They probably will.
And this game better be like
It would be fun on the Switch.
$5. I mean, yeah, I would love to play it on the Switch actually.
I feel like the collector's value of it, this game's gonna come out at like $30 or $40.
Yeah.
But it's Earthworm Jim. It's
And
so
it,
fun.
but it is nostalgic city. That
Oh,
is.
yeah.
It is.
All right, so that's it for the Culture Corner. We got You to Choose coming up next. We got a good one. We got a good one, I think, this week. All right, so we're here, You to Choose, and we got a good topic for you this week. What was the biggest mess up? The cell processor for the PS3 or the Red Ring of Death? You to choose right now.
Ladies first.
Oh,
Well, thank you, kind sir.
Always.
The Red Ring of Death. There's no argument to that. The Red Ring of Death was terrible. The Xbox had a 54% failure rate when it came out. That's worse than a coin flip of you getting a console and it being dead. And just flat out dead.
well, at least I can play games on it. I think the PS3 is completely wasted potential. You know what the PS3 is like? It's like that smart kid. Instead of going to school, he decided to hang out with his hood rat friends and just didn't do any work. So I think with a little guidance, it could have been better. But yeah, it is what it is, right?
You know what? You may not have had a lot of games for your cell processor, but you still made money. Microsoft had to fork over $1 billion with a B to extend their warranty program 3 years to fix everyone's console to make sure they got something that worked, and it still didn't work.
You can still play games on it though. With comparisons, right? With comparisons, right? PS3 is like a drunk uncle. You know, it's fun in small doses, but can overstay its welcome. You know, really, really easy. So you gotta have a little bit of fun with your uncle PS3, but then you always go back to a good old trusty Xbox.
It's not going to change the fact that, let's say, arguably the 360 did win that generation's war. Nothing will stop just the meme of the red ring. It's the Xbox One. The red ring doesn't even exist anymore. But you all know what we're talking about, and we're talking about it now. The red ring was that impactful.
I got one last point before we continue. Do you like America?
Oh my God!
Do you like America?
Captain.
Because the 360, it was the America of that console generation. It was the people's system. And the numbers don't lie. It outsold the PS3. I mean, it just outsold it.
Except for that the failure rate was found out to be the Mexican versions of the consoles that were made. What about America?
The console war continues. PS3, Xbox 360. Who had the biggest mess up last gen? Cell processor, red ring of death. You to choose right now in the comment section. We got the main topic coming up right now.
That at me.
Let's clip that, everybody. Clip that. I had a thought, but I'm not gonna.
He was like, nice leg.
Yeah.
The moment he was just like, I'm gonna hit you with America, I'm like, yes, yes.
America stuff.
Fitness Kaiser says it only works if you buy one old used game a month. Like $20 a game or something.
Yeah.
Talking about the game stuff we were talking about last time. We actually
Yeah.
What up, the All Kaiser? I know the All Kaiser.
The old Kaiser?
We know the All Kaiser.
Actually, a roll?
So we're talking Xbox and PlayStation because they're actually teaming up right now.
Sorry.
All hell has officially frozen over. Microsoft.
The cell processor and the red ring have combined forces.
It's the cell ring of death.
Oh, that sounds terrible.
The red ring of processors.
Yes. Huge fan. Basically,
no
they're
fan
teaming
that
up right now, and as
They're
you can
selling
see,
fans.
those the heads of their respective companies right there. That's another game, E3 games. But they're teaming up right now for cloud service, basically.
Yeah.
The cloud service of Xbox, which is called Azure. Okay. Azure, I don't know if I'm saying it right. Yeah, we've seen this on some of the Xbox when they do their, I guess it's not a direct, but it's like an Xbox.
The little briefings that
they do. You can see like somebody put up like their cell phone and they'll put a controller in and they'll be like playing the game on Azure, and they say it's playing pretty good. Of course, Sony has PlayStation Now.
Yeah, they got that.
Games.
They bought that.
Gaikai.
Yeah.
They bought Gaikai, and they're doing that, but they aren't as ahead as Xbox is with the Azure.
Yeah.
So basically, Xbox, the new Xbox Gen system, whatever that will be called, that'll be on Azure. PlayStation will be on Azure, and so will Nintendo. Will all be on Azure. It's pretty crazy.
That's not bad though. When you look at the three systems out there, Microsoft has always had the better just online stability.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so I mean,
they wanted to be friends now because they saw Nintendo and Xbox were playing.
You want to be
friends.
I mean,
yeah.
It's
And then
like
PlayStation was like, I want to be friends too.
It's like I want Cuphead.
Sony, the thing is, Sony was the one that pulled the trigger on this. It wasn't PlayStation. PlayStation has been kind of because PlayStation is the thing that's making Sony money right now.
But but Sony owns PlayStation.
Yeah, Sony's hardware stuff not really selling. Their movie brandings, except for Spider-Man. Except for Spider-Man.
Literally.
So right now, the thing in the company that's been in for the past almost a decade now, I think. PlayStation has been making Sony money. But Sony's like, well, we need to expand stuff like, and PlayStation's like, no, we don't have to. We're making you money.
Yeah, basically they had to, Sony had to break this news to the PlayStation team that they were partnering up with Microsoft.
Wait. So they made the deal
without PlayStation's knowledge. So then they
now
had
we
like,
see what it's like to be
yeah,
Xbox.
So PlayStation was like really concerned. They were like, "Is this going to affect our next gen system that we're working on? What are you guys doing?" Sony had to calm their own team down and be like, "Relax. It's just to help essentially infrastructure."
Yeah.
You know, it's not like we're going to come out with the PlayStation X or something like. Oh, that was the PSX actually. So it already came out.
So we're gonna we're gonna have a meeting today.
So can we
we're
get
talking
some
about the
platform with PlayStation now? It's
man.
There's already talks about crossplay.
I'd like you to introduce you to our crossplay person. They just opened the door. It's Master Chief just walking through.
What's going on here? Oh, we didn't tell you guys about the.
We finished the fight. It's over.
I just want to have what was the PlayStation guy during the PS3 era? That was like
what's his name? Kevin Butler.
Kevin Butler.
I just want Kevin Butler on a Microsoft stage, and I'm
you
good.
can
I'm good.
you can find his speech, his epic speech that he did still online. I watched it.
So good.
I watched it like a while back or something, but I just watched it again. I'm like, wow,
yeah, so
that
good.
was awesome.
He was awesome.
He was
awesome. Epic speech.
So the fact that they're gonna all be on Azure, that means Microsoft and Nintendo are edging. And PlayStation are edging their bets that everything's going to be moving to online. You know what I mean?
It probably. We're already getting there. How many games now can you just not even get a physical disc for anymore?
Yeah, basically. So, but what I'm saying, like, Google Stadia is basically, yeah.
We're just like
pause.
Thank you, Alan.
Pause, please.
Got you. Laptop time. We got magic hand.
What is it doing?
It's in view.
No. Just turn around.
Just turn
Stop
around.
it, Alan. So, anyways, like I was saying,
every now and then we get a little. Oh.
I don't understand.
Basically, they're edging their bets on but they're going to be Google Stadia is coming out, and I think that's what really pushed PlayStation and Sony's hand.
Probably.
Because I think we were talking a little bit earlier that we probably are not going to need consoles pretty soon.
Yeah.
Eventually, that seems to be the way the market's going, but I think consoles will go down swinging. But it does seem to be the general path. We're going to leave like physical media in general. It's just gonna. I think it'll take a while.
So my question before we get into PlayStation, because PlayStation had their investors meeting. Is this going to be the last? Like, do you think it's going to be the last generation cycle where we have physical disc media?
I actually don't. I think it'll make it one more generation.
Like after the next generation.
Yeah, like PS6 generation
like
kind of time.
2025.
Yeah, I think it will because there's too many collectors out there. A lot of us like to have the physical copies and stuff like that.
But where are you going to buy it at?
Online.
Yeah, pretty much. Speaking of which, PlayStation had their investors meeting. Mark Cerny, I believe, has already came out and gave a bunch of details about the PS5. I guess it's going to be. We don't know what it's called.
Yeah, we
but
touched on
right
this a few weeks.
Actually, Spider-Man. They were saying basically they're swinging through the city.
It's too fast.
Yeah, this is how fast you could swing through the city.
Yeah.
With the PS5.
It's all about like the loading time that it has for everything.
Better rendering, better
prevents
load times.
Prevents like pop in stuff like that.
That's when you're swinging through the city. It's still loading the city in Spider-Man.
It's actually not just stopping you from how fast you actually could swing through the city.
Yeah, because it's like, new area of the city. That
gotta load the city, and everything.
Load the crimes, load the people, all that stuff.
So that means the city's loaded in front of you and behind you, in one time. So they're saying they're gonna have disc. They're definitely going to have you can download, and they're doing streaming. So I wonder how the Gaikai and the Azure are going to play together because, of course, Microsoft has their
PlayStation View.
No, Microsoft has the you can download the games from them. You have like the $10 a month, and you can have the $100 games.
Game Pass.
Game Pass. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of
and and Microsoft and PlayStation Now is basically actual streaming device. So I wonder how. Well, it's probably going to help them.
Yeah, probably.
Anything that helps Nintendo do better online, I am with. I am totally with.
Help them online. Their online infrastructure is bad.
Unless you're Mario Kart.
And it says, hello, I'm amazed they didn't pull the trigger on this earlier. Yeah.
Well, when I think crossplay was the biggest thing that I think both companies really should have locked down a little bit earlier, instead of doing what they've been doing, which is fighting each other on that. It's like you have the same game. Let players play together on that thing. I mean, I think it just would have been better for money.
And this all arguably started with what? Minecraft and Rocket League?
Yeah.
On Switch?
Yeah.
When they were like,
Rocket League was the first one.
Yeah.
And it did amazing for Rocket
Well, the
League.
Switch had to come out first.
Yeah. But once it did, like, to see that those two companies were willing to get along, like, I think Sony eventually realized we could take our stand on it for as long as we can, but it'll only last too long. We're going to have to fold and join in on this.
I'm wondering how long Sony's been sitting on that, though. Because PlayStation is like, no, but Sony's probably been like, we need to do this, and they've been probably working on that.
They've probably been talking for a
All
while.
I know is that when Nintendo and PlayStation do well, so does Xbox. It's like when PlayStation, you had to get the rights to put the Blu-ray player in your disc. And now if you want to go online, we're boosting your online, or if they really mess with them, they can like take the online down.
I mean, yeah.
I'm just saying, not that Microsoft would do anything like that because they're such a credible company. And no salt at all. But we do have salty clips coming up right now. But before we get into the saltiest of clips, we're going back to Smash Bros. Because it is the saltiest of. We don't have a shaker? Do you have a shaker?
Oh, I don't have the shaker.
We don't have the
it's
shaker.
around here somewhere.
Shout out to Dyer.
It's over there.
Our boy Dyer.
Our boy Dyer made the salty clip, the first clip on the salty clips.
That's bringing it back.
That's
for us.
Oh, I don't need to hit my mic.
Right on the mic.
Sorry about that, guys.
Headphone check.
So let's go into it right now. Salty clips right here.
I heard from a Bayonetta player, so don't quote me on it, but it seems to be true.
Oh, and Dyer's gonna take to the last zone. Just like that, Bay will come.
Gosh, that was so bad. That was so.
Oh! Look at the look on his face, like, oh, he's not gonna.
You don't wanna know that?
Yo, at least give him a fist.
I can't.
Oh no!
We gotta clip that.
PLP.
We gotta clip that.
All right. I think he footstooled him. He
I feel like if he didn't, he definitely tried. So either way, Mewtwo King.
Oh, bye.
In that second game,
I'm just gonna sit back down.
He's gonna sit down.
The sodium went all the way to the wall. And he was just like, I'm gonna do it.
Just slams the table in disgust. Not very happy. Storming off.
Just those little movements that are a little angrier.
It's like, yeah, I know.
And this time it's going to wind up being his downfall.
Oh, all right. Oh,
Don't break your
can we?
controls,
All right.
man.
No. All right.
Happy at all, tosses
You have a good day,
down.
Look at him smiling. Did you see him smiling? He's like,
Oh,
no.
that's
I'm sorry. My bad.
That's a rage quit. That's not salty. He just
he
punched
won.
that dude.
No, he won.
He
won. He won.
oh, he.
Oh, you
It was
stay
pop-off.
down.
It was a pop-off.
You stay down.
Oh wow.
He popped off on him.
Okay.
That is a rage quit.
Whoa, that's a rage quit.
That is a rage quit.
He threw his controller
That is
to the
that is a
no
rage quit.
contest. Wow.
Oh my!
Oh, we're in the way.
Cut that shit out, man.
Yeah, he's
We're
down
in the
there.
way.
He's over there being mad.
Oh, it's
A
not over.
few moments
Came back.
later.
Moments later.
Popping off.
And lost yet again.
I'm about to say I thought he.
Oh, we're in the way. Ah, we're in the way. We're in the way of the salt.
Oh, we're flying.
Ah, we're taking off.
Magic couch.
My hero. My hug.
The saltiest hug.
We did good.
You hear me?
We're not getting paid for that. You hear me?
Wow.
Shout out to Alan.
Grand finals, John.
Making the couch fly.
Yeah.
Oh my lord!
Oh.
You can
Oh.
see it in his
Oh.
face. He's
Tears.
frustrated.
Will tears come?
Yes.
Almost had
Tears are salty.
steady.
Oh.
That will
Just
make
fell
him
back down. Oh, the tears are coming.
off-season
The Red Bull may give you wings, but it does not stop the.
So
He's grabbing his hair out of his head.
He's so frustrated.
Congratulations to
Poor
John.
guy.
Jeez. That's
Guess the
rough.
rest not getting paid this month.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh man.
no. Get out of here.
No.
Still you stay down.
Game.
Oh,
Oh, man.
You can really look at his face. Look at his face.
I feel
That is
that.
pain.
He is just crushed.
Jesus got back to sticky. See ya.
Oh, man.
Oh, what happened?
Did he just jump out? He's like, I'm done.
Looks like he gave up. He's already
Bye.
gone.
Oh,
Captain Zach. Just
Yeah, that's an easy win for me.
Hello,
So, you know
darkness,
what?
my old
I'm
friend.
just gonna leave on a high.
We're traded. That's so unfortunate.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah,
That's Joe.
I mean, we used to say Luigi's the king.
Oh wow! Oh, here, there's the fist bump. Jeez,
and the other
that's
guy's
crazy.
like, ah.
He went, oh no, oh yes, okay.
Here, take it.
Oh man,
trying to hit me or something.
Speaking of Smash, we got esports coming up next. Man.
Speaking of Smash, it's not our first story.
It's not our first story, but it is esports.
It is esports.
So we do go into it. Right. Our first story has to do with Fortnite.
Right.
So, Fortnite player
happens a lot with our first stories.
I know.
Tfue is suing FaZe Clan, and he's suing because basically he's not able to pursue other money opportunities. When you're signed to a company or signed to a team, whatever the case is, they kind of own part of your brand. You know what I'm saying? So like he basically is saying that something like he's saying like $6,000 worth of like endorsements and deals that he can't get because the team isn't letting him do it. Now he's a star player for their team, and he's basically suing them for the money he could have got on top of already being on the team with them.
I wonder if it's in the contract though.
It probably is.
Yeah, legally legally will he win is my biggest question.
But even more so, like, how are you still on the team that you're suing and playing for?
Makes money for him.
I mean, but like, that's gonna
it's gonna cause gonna cause some bad.
Well, it might not cause bad synergy with the team itself,
but the management.
Yeah. Well, because if he's on Fortnite, there's a chance he might just be a solo player, so he might not even have a team. So it'll just cause just rough stuff behind the scenes.
Hey man, you remember suing us? Good luck in your game.
Oh no.
We had a little league action over the weekend.
Oh yeah, G2 esports. They won in Taiwan, right?
Yep.
It was Taiwan.
Yep.
They won an incredible game. By the way, I actually watched it.
Yeah, I did too.
It was like beautiful.
Yeah.
And they've been on a freaking roll. They've just destroyed
kind of on a rampage,
everybody.
Yeah. Exactly.
Just going through. They made their record. I don't remember their last competition thing they did. They made a world record.
Oh yeah, the quickest.
18 minute.
Oh,
game, which is incredible
for which games usually take like from what I've
half hour plus.
Yeah, exactly.
30 minutes plus. So
18
they beat
minutes,
them in
done.
18 minutes. And then this particular game, even if you don't watch League, you might want to at least try it. Well, I guess maybe not, because this one was like really, really amazing. It was just super smooth. They just trashed them from beginning to end, just wiped them out.
It did seem like a wipe. At the end, the team, like, you could have had a salty clip because the team that they beat was just kind of like,
they just
kind of sat there.
They just sat there like, well.
Like,
wow.
We showed up.
We were here, guys.
They just beat us?
Yeah.
Nah, they ain't just beat us.
So, but they aren't a Korean team,
already?
Though, aren't they?
Yeah.
No, they're not.
They're an American team?
They're an American team.
They're an American team, is the thing I'm saying. Playing League this well.
Yep, they're doing great.
So that's
the thing I said about it, though, is like when you compare the two types of teams, the Asian teams usually go for more like all-rounders, like where every teammate is good at just about everything, whereas like American and European teams tend to go for specialists, where it's like you have your specific healer, your specific carry, your specific whatever.
Weren't you saying before, like, we play more aggressive?
Well, that's the thing.
Generally?
If Americans and people from the UK play more aggressively, we can always defeat Asian teams.
because they're not used to that.
Because it throws them off.
Okay.
And especially because we do usually.
They're more balanced.
But what happens is, though, if we mess up, they punish us super heavily. Because, I mean, they're all rounders.
Everything is in place, exactly.
It's like, but it's really interesting.
So no Smash, but a couple. Oh my God, we're in trouble!
Oh no!
He said,
the big boss is here.
We gotta come in here before. What time is it? It's 12:30. Oh,
he's gonna flood the basement. It's over. We're all gonna die.
I think everything's good. So
he just marked me for death.
We're just gonna go on the combo breaker, which is going on in Chicago.
I just saw him look at me.
Guys,
I think I'm next. I think I'm next.
Yeah. There's gonna be a tournament this week. Florida versus Texas. It's going down. $2,000 on the line. Team tournament. NRS community is going in. We can't see, but you can see.
I totally forgot.
Forever King, Alcatraz, Big D,
Toxin,
Katana Prime. That's the Florida team.
Yeah. That's a stacked
That's pretty stacked team. We got another list. So King Gambler, Star Charger. I know him. Cusco. Yeah, the Florida team just looks too stacked.
Yeah,
I know Texas is on the map, but I mean, it looks pretty.
And you said that all of them are putting in towards the pool, so it's a $2,000 prize.
Yeah. So
whoever wins this, 10
so
to 10.
The cool thing about Combo Breaker being in Chicago, it is also the birthplace of Mortal Kombat, which is the
Netherrealm.
heaviest NRS scene.
Yep.
So this is kind of like for Pride.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So Katana Prime, I think, being the big
He's a big
name
one, yeah.
about both teams, whatever the case is. But there's been a lot of trash talking on Twitter, and it's going to finally get settled. They're definitely probably going to stream it.
Oh yeah, it's
So
going to get streamed.
But this is opposite of the actual tournament that's going to go on, so that's pretty dope as well. So
I'm really interested to see.
yeah,
how that's gonna go.
the cool thing is we're going to see a lot of tech.
So
Yeah.
it's more like a high-end exhibition.
Yeah,
fight.
basically.
So
with state pride on the line.
Yeah.
State
You know
pride
what I mean?
and money.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah.
forget that money.
So it's gonna be like Garrus versus Garrus versus Garrus versus Garrus.
And a Jackie
And a
sprinkled in
katana.
there. And a
sprinkled in there.
katana.
It's definitely gonna be one katana.
Yeah, it's gonna be one katana.
Yeah,
We know.
one katana.
I mean,
Katana prime.
pretty sure Florida's gonna win.
Yeah, Florida. I mean,
Are you saying that just because
Just because everybody fights in Florida.
I mean,
Florida man,
It's like,
Florida man, Florida woman, Florida man.
Florida man is in the fight.
If Florida man's in
Oh
the
my
fight,
gosh.
sorry.
I mean,
there's nothing you can do, Texas.
kind of a thing.
Like,
But-
it's good that you have guns, but we have a lot of meth.
Like, I don't think you understand just how much meth we have.
I've seen the math in my head. It's guns is a less than meth. It's just what it is.
Less than meth. Haven't
guns
you seen
less
that
than
video
meth.
of the
It's-
guy that was on PCP that it was the Florida man.
He was. Yeah, I know. No, he wasn't on PCP. He was on meth.
Was he on meth? The guy that they
No, my
tased?
cousin knows that guy. He was a.
Oh my god.
Ironically enough, he was a car salesman.
What
So
did I
we're
say?
gonna.
That's a regular Florida person.
Speaking of fights, there's a fight going on in the courts right now with
Echo Fox.
Echo Fox and
and the one investor.
you know, subscribe to
yes.
the channel and I'll tell you about the guy who ate the guy's face.
Oh gosh, but yes, the League of Legends the League of Legends Championship Series has actually directed Echo Fox to remove the partner that was making the racial statements.
Which is crazy because he's actually not okay. Originally, you think racist towards a black guy. You think it's like knee-jerk reaction. You think it's a white guy. It's actually an Arab guy. He's a dark-skinned Arab guy too. That's
I don't mean nothing.
Yeah, I guess not.
Well,
yeah, it's pretty crazy.
So I guess we get to see hopefully. Since they're saying, you got to do it,
Yeah.
we're going to see how that concludes. But we kind of been following the story for a few weeks now.
Yeah,
so
first, like we see right here.
First was the accusations.
The accusations. And
then the potential that they might listen, because he said he was going to walk.
Yeah, he said I'm done.
Then he said he stayed, and he wanted to, he's like, he'd like to see them do the right thing.
Yeah.
And now they're saying, yeah, let's do the right thing.
I mean, Rick Fox is a big entity in esports and pushing it forward.
If he left them, he was just gonna do the same thing somewhere else with esports.
And
he wouldn't have been done.
And I'm trademarking this right now. What he could have called his new company, or still might call his new company, Epic Fox.
We're
All
just
right,
gonna let
then,
that
all right,
sit
all
there.
right.
We're sorry. This is supposed to be a quality joke show with news sprinkled in there, and that was poor. We, on behalf of 2050 Esports, we apologize for our horrible joke.
Yeah.
I've even gotten, at least when I do bad puns.
Maybe because I posed for it, because I was like,
you were waiting for it.
And we're just like, no, we're not gonna give that to you.
Well, I think the funniest thing about that is it's freaking Riot doing all of this.
Meanwhile, before we even get to Riot, oh my gosh, because it's Catch-22 right there.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that Epic Echo Fox.
You're already creating the new team.
Yeah, you want it. You want it so bad.
Echo Fox is in so many different esports arenas.
Yeah.
That the fact that it would influence all their players basically.
It really would.
It will not just would it influence all their players. It will also affect esports.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're gonna allow this to happen in this community. Then what does that say about the community? That's the biggest thing about it.
If Rick Fox had left, that'd hurt Echo Fox. I almost said it too. Now.
Oh my God.
That would have hurt Echo Fox, because then, like you just said, that gives off the impression that they're just gonna let it happen and not really care. And then Rick Fox would have just gone and created Epic Fox, let's just say, and started going with that, and you would have had more.
The company would have crashed.
Yeah, and you would have just seen more out of that. So this is the better option: is get rid of that investor.
It's interesting. It's really interesting that
because you don't know how many ties
Yeah.
Rick Fox has to the industry everywhere.
It's interesting to see how the league championship series is actually kind of like trying to fix this. Like, because they're gonna lose money off it.
Considering the other side.
While their other thing is like burning to the ground on the other end.
Being sued by like what 200 employees right now.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Riot. Talking about Riot.
Yeah. Riot has policies in their company set in place where you can't talk about their company in any way, form, or fashion. Even after you were let go from the company, you still have like a period of time before you can actually say anything.
It's 5 years.
Yeah.
I think it's 5 years.
So we've been following this story for a while. There was a walkout that happened about 2 weeks ago, if you're watching the show. And there's been a lot of infighting in Riot over some issues and legal things that are going on.
Usually it's treatment of the employees.
And the basically the whole team is basically saying like enough is enough. You've been saying change and change is not going to happen. And now we find out this new stuff.
Yeah. So
Essentially, change still will not happen.
Yeah, they're essentially like, well, we're not going to change anything until you all calm down, which is like.
That's not how this works.
That's not how that works.
Yeah, because it's kind of
that's like the teacher coming in and is like, well, I'm not gonna continue talking until you stop talking.
Oh, because
All
right,
then no school.
Class. I don't care. Like, it's like, what are you doing? Except that, like, I don't know. I don't know what they're thinking.
It's a weird tactic because last week when we talked about it, Riot themselves was saying, they're proud of their rioters for doing this, and now this week they're like, well, yeah, we were proud of you. But nothing's going to really change. Like, until you guys stop suing us and litigations are done, we won't change anything.
Until you shut up, we won't make. Until you shut up, you can't make us shut up.
Yeah.
But we'll be quiet when you be quiet.
But then you still run into the fact that, like, once the litigation stop, they don't really have to change anything still because they even said it might take a while. So it's technically it's an interesting move because if the litigation stops, it's a win-win for Riot.
Yeah.
Because they can take their time to try to change their litigation or their policies, and the litigation's over.
When Riot Games say shut up, I'll be quiet. But when they leave,
I'll be talking again.
Well, the thing is, it's a corporate bullying tactic.
Yeah.
That's all it is. It's just like, oh, well, you can do your stuff, whatever like that. We're gonna quote unquote be fine, and it's just a manipulation tactic.
Yeah.
I think that if they really cared about their employees like they claim that they say that they do, they'd actually try to work with it.
Well, and it's like it's a policy change, and it's like I get that sometimes stuff like that takes time, but you're in charge.
Yeah.
All it really takes you is $50 of paper and getting rid of that policy and just having everyone sign it.
On top of that, too, it's like that's a terrible excuse for them, too.
Oh, yeah.
To be like, well, we can't because, we don't have time. And it's like, shut up, you have.
What if all the people working on the game just stop?
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's like they're trying to act like it's not a big deal, but it's like 200 people. Like, you can't tell me that's not a big deal. You can't.
And they're in the news because we got the top Twitch channels, of course, from the month of May, and they're number 2, only being surpassed by Tfue, who is actually suing.
To get those numbers up,
man, you gotta
have some kind of controversy.
Exactly.
Good Lord.
So what
Start
should
suing.
be our controversy? We have to have a controversy. Spike those numbers, man.
Spike
those numbers. No, whoa.
You to choose.
Whoa. We're not saying that.
We are not. There is no Breaking Bad here.
So 30 was Dota Hub. Then in 4th, subbed Poppin, Amsgo, and of course Ninja. Ninja being all the way down with number 6 on the list.
Sometimes, he's gotten away from some Fortnite to play other things because you gotta imagine you get tired after a while of playing the same thing. But the people only want him to play Fortnite. He'll watch if he's playing Fortnite. He'll have like 50, 60,000 people watching him. If not, he's got like 20.
Exactly.
There's like another a Twitch streamer that I've been watching. He's not even on the list, so don't worry about it. But he plays Dead by Daylight, and like he started playing Mortal Kombat because he's so sick of it.
Shout him out.
Is it Angry Pug?
Yeah,
his name is True Talent.
He's not on the list, so it doesn't matter. But I like watching him.
Shout out.
Maybe you might want to watch him, but too bad. I'm not going to tell his name.
If you want to watch him play Dead by Daylight, he's really, really good. He plays Killer and Survivor, so it's pretty cool.
Is he so good he makes you rage?
No, honestly, he's so good that you're just watching like, wow.
But we got Rage Quit replays coming up right now.
Sorry.
Nobody cares about it. We'll talk about it next time.
Yeah, we'll talk
there
about
was
it.
like a little blip on it though.
Well,
Whatever that was, we'll talk about it next time. Rage Quit Replays are going in right now, and we're talking a little bit of FIFA. FIFA. Starting with a little FIFA.
The world's game.
the world's anger.
Football.
The angriest.
I did the thing.
It's soccer, in case you guys were wondering.
International players are mad right now.
Come and get you is what's gonna happen.
I mean,
In 2 seconds, I bet Heath is gonna come in here and be like,
it's soccer. Wow. Oh, okay. Please.
well,
Wow.
Go.
He's French, and I don't know if it's funnier because he. Oh, okay.
All right.
If I was winning in FIFA, I would have a vuvuzela ready. Just the entire time.
You're one of them.
Yeah, I would be that guy.
Sir.
oh, sir, no.
Oh.
I'd be so American.
Why you gotta take that out with the chair?
Well, this is a tournament.
In terms of this matchup.
Nope.
This is a real life
I'm
Rage Quit.
out. Wow.
Hey, can we rewind that one just a little bit?
Wow.
Yeah, rewind that one.
Was that at a competition?
Yes.
That's impressive.
Yes. This is a tournament Rage Quit.
God.
Look at his body language. He knows he's losing.
He's like,
You know,
I just
he's
saw
like
it.
he thought about it. This is
Oh
real.
my God. You should get bonus points. If
The
you
commentator goes, so I guess it's over.
You should get
He
bonus
does. He doesn't even go to his seat. Check this out.
Today.
Oh, he's out.
He's leaving.
He is out.
He's got a plane to catch.
I've got an Uber waiting for me
Spirit Makes
outside.
you wait 2 hours before the flight. You gotta go.
I think we just watched her retire. Just like I'm
Wow.
retired. I just don't want to.
Hold on, pause it. So you think this is a card trick, but it's not.
Okay.
Play it, Alan.
Bender trick.
Okay.
This is cool. It just requires just a little bit of preparation ahead of time.
Okay.
There's yelling in the background. Wait.
No, 5 minutes. 5 minutes. No. 5 minutes. No, that's enough. 5 minutes. No. Now.
Is he playing on a laptop?
No.
Oh, he's not playing on a laptop anymore. Oh, man.
Can rewind it.
Yo.
I want to see the impact. He's like, I want you to go inside and do your work or whatever.
Here you go.
5 minutes. I just need 5 minutes. 5 minutes.
Rewind it a little bit more. Rewind it right before she throws it to the ground. So, play.
No.
All right, what are you doing, lady? Hey,
No, that's
what?
mine.
No, please, for the love of God, don't do what you're gonna do, lady.
Finish
I'm
her.
still just. Oh, there's so much office work I could still do. Oh.
And look how gangster she crosses her legs, like as it's done. It's like,
And look at the
blood?
laptop, man. She hit it with such force that laptop exploded.
Yeah, it's dead.
Oh, you want to go inside?
I get a call from your school today. You've only been in school a week. What? I said, look at me.
Sometimes I have a hard time understanding why you break expensive things. Smashing a laptop like that just hurts.
But as a kid, you can't laugh. You can't be like, "Ha, you broke that," because you might die.
He's like, look at me.
So, like, no, but everything you ain't got no homework.
Just a moment.
Yo, my dad was yelling at me like that.
Okay, well,
he
probably clipped the cord.
Dad, where'd you go?
Uh-oh.
What are you doing, Dad? He said, "Don't worry about what I'm doing."
No,
Paraphrasing.
don't say that. What is that?
I'm doing dad things. Oh.
That's a trimmer for the grass.
Technically, that's a projection TV. You can still see some of it.
Yeah.
Wow. Dude, unless this clip is a little old, that's an expensive TV.
This clip is little.
So that's a very expensive TV for the time. And now they gotta lug that thing out.
Yeah.
And that thing weighs like 150 pounds.
But look how the kid chooses to get back. Look at when he. Oh yeah, definitely go ahead.
I can't believe you did that.
His hat being backwards makes everything perfect.
I bet his name is Kyle. Tyler. Come back to your room, Skylar.
Look at you.
I'ma help too.
Wait, go back.
He got so upset he's gonna join in and beat a dead horse.
Oh no, this fight is a ton of fun too.
If you
Stab his man. You can't stab him. There you go.
Yeah, you did it.
Oh,
You
you're
did-
done for. Oh, he saw you.
Oh, we're in the way again.
Okay.
Alan, do your magic. Alan, do your magic. No.
Oh,
there.
there it is.
Oh.
Right in front of your wife.
But at least I got waifu in the back.
At least I got waifu in the background.
He really
I was
does.
just like right in front of her. You're just gonna get.
Oh, yes. That's perfect. Go back.
That was pretty great.
Oh,
It was me.
Blat.
Mad, and then just like here they come.
Attack of the Haas. Attack Haas. Ha 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 ha. Oh, I remember him.
I haven't gotten him
yeah,
yet.
the demon of hatred.
I haven't gotten him yet.
Oh Lord.
Look at the silent.
I'm trying to figure out how to
Look
get
at the
to him.
silent rage.
Do you want me to tell you?
No. I'll figure it out.
The face.
Wow.
Ooh.
I love how she still kept her composure. I love how she still kept her composure the entire time. That's great.
There is the biggest smile underneath those hands right now.
She was trying to hold it. She was like looking straight, like, oh no, oh no.
She kept her composure the entire time, even with the like hands raking
man.
across the keyboard. Great.
Rage Quit Replays. You can send us your Rage Quit Replays if you want to. We'll make fun of you. It's fine. It's what we do here. It's the Basement 2050 Esports. Lot of stuff going on this week. We definitely got Rocket League
There
going
you go.
on right there.
With the midweek throwdown.
Exactly.
That's tonight.
Yeah, so definitely stay tuned for that.
8. It's totally 8.
I think it's 8, guys.
It's 8.
If you're subscribed, you get a little buzz, a little ding when we go live.
Hit that little heart.
Follow us also at the things below.
Yeah.
That's starting. Wait, this way. Yeah, we're going this way first. Twitch, which you should be already on. That's us.
Yes.
Facebook, which is right down there.
Definitely Facebook.
And going all the way over here. Bam with the Twitter.
Yeah. So we're on all that stuff.
Are you guys having your show tonight? Or show Friday, excuse me. Question mark?
Question mark.
Question mark.
Check Twitter for details.
That's right. With Table Wars, with Cloudbreak. You will see MF Dungeonaire playing her character on there, as well as the awesome stories and hijinks that they go on there with Updog. So just
get
check
at
that
everything
out.
we're doing. 2050 Esports on everything. Make sure to vote in our You to Choose. Shout out to everybody in the chat, and we'll see you guys next week, Wednesday.
Did you watch
Same basement time.
Same basement channel.
I'm Red K.
I'm Updog.
Lionheart X.
And the Loneliest Wolf. By choice.
Be good, be safe, keep playing them games. If you can't be good, don't get caught. It's the Basement 2050 Esports. We out.
So what's up, dog?